So, good evening guys, welcome to OTL Season 2, Round 14, Japan. The country of, I'm not even going to say it, I was going to say something there, but it was a bad idea, a very bad idea. No, we can't, I can't, Jensen, I just can't. I was going to say something really horrible that I shouldn't have, so bad Chris. Good evening, no, joined this week as always, as you've heard them, with Jensen. Yes. Good evening, sir. How are we?
Yes, sir. Yes. Going good. As ever. Yeah. Gonna be interesting.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So, good evening, chat. Before you do absolutely anything, please like the video, and if you haven't already, sub to the channel. Please. Mike says, hey dudes, you ain't you a spectator? Yes, I am spectating. Was I not at the time when you said that, Michael? Good evening, SPW. It is a pleasure as always. So, I nearly called you Mike there, Jensen. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Driving sense, probably an insult. I don't know what he looks like, and I don't know what you look like, but maybe he's a better looking kid, I don't know.
Just full on insult, I think.
ENTXJ, no.
Like...
ENTXJ, no. No. You just go away. Mike says, hey dudes, again. I said hey the first time, Michael. You're so needy. Isn't it, Jensen? You're so needy.
Yeah. I like the new fonts in the stream. That looks
yes.
Pretty slick.
Displaying, guys, look at our new fonts. Do you like it?
It is no longer the official F1, it is the Chinese simplified. That's
we are
right.
just better. I think it looks a lot cleaner. Names are a lot more spaced as well, so I was thinking about this as well, gents. You know, we're talking about the gaps in the numbers, etc. See, if you're watching on a smaller device, i.e. a phone, it makes gamer tags much easier to read. So, in my eyes, it's a win.
Well, I think, just look at us, we're men of absolutely all cultures, as you can see.
We're about involvement. The
by
seems to be taking a little while
subtypes.
for me. Are you in, Jensen?
There's no names taken yet, so... Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
So...
guys, what do you expect, Jensen? Japan qualifying tyre strategy. What would you call... That is very much fact.
And it's not just a wheel track, it's also probably the simplest strategy, really. Softer medium is probably what I would go for.
Stephen, I will not repeat that in chat. You are an animal. I say no more. Get banned and stuff, and yeah.
Oh, look how fast they're out on track. JNTEX, first guy, I'm on track.
I suppose I should spectate my nemesis.
Yeah, Chris never got to commentate that race as he was in it.
Yes.
With
I wish I wasn't.
This guy.
I learned many things about GNTEX, none of them I liked. I'm just messing. That was very enjoyable. So, Jensen, sorry, the first thing I asked, tyre strategy, what would be your decision? Is it a track you want to be starting on the harder compound than the medium tyre, or do you just go all out and go for the 3 runs on the soft and try and get yourselves far up the grid? Track position is quite important here, so I assume getting yourself up that grid is important.
Soft all the way. Be soft all the way, mate. That's literally it.
Tyre deck here is pretty good.
I mean, you'll be pretty much on the cutting edge. Like, it'll be about 60%, mid-60s maximum maybe, across pit stops and at the end of both stints, I'd say. So, we'll see what happens, but yeah, JNTEC's going to be the first driver to start a lap, Chris on the mediums. So
yes, we will go on board as he starts a hot lap. Sorry, Jensen.
I haven't done any, to be fair, I haven't done a flying lap for a while, and Jane is weaving about at the moment. He ain't on a flyer, so I think Mike is the second guy, so I think we'll just jump on board with him.
Yes.
Coming to turn 1, you don't want to be too close to it. He's going to use quite a lot of the curb on the inside, try and keep as close as possible in turn 2. This is a very tricky section here. It's taking a lot of the entry curb. The back end starts to get away from you as much as you take these curves, and try and get a wide line as possible. The exit of the S is a very easy place to spin. And come to the end of sector 1, Mike 31-1, pretty decent. Degner 1, you can pretty much get it flat. Degner 2 is a bit off, and I don't know what's happened there. Got a bit off throttle, but coming up to the hairpin, a very easy place to spin as well. A very difficult traction zone. Coming up to Spoon curve, 2 consecutive corners here. A very tricky one as well for the rear of the car. He gets it okay, a bit wide in the second part of Spoon, but he's going to come down the straight. Might get a little bit of a toe off the Williams JNTX here up ahead. Coming through 130R, easy flat in these cars. And looking at the lap, it might be a 26 or a mid 26 maybe, as he goes through the final chicane. I'll pretty much say nailed there for Mike. Racing for
back out there.
That's interesting.
So where is Nelly? Nelly's on an invalidated lap just coming through Spoon, so he is on the medium.
28.2 from their Ranger there. Goes P1, Sabre goes P2, the 28.7, F. Lewis the 27.8 on the medium tyres as well, Chris. So that's a good pace from him. A
driver actually I spoke with
Ranger
just a few days back was F. Lewis, and he's really looking forward to today, I know that much, so I think he feels strong at this circuit and comfortable, so I think he could be one to watch.
SPW having a spin out of Spoon, but he hasn't got any damage. I think he's stayed out of the wall just. Rage Hunter's gone to the top, Chris, the 26.7, so those are the first quick times I think we're going to see. I think we might see 25s today.
That's what I was going to ask you, what kind of low side of the lap time do you think we'll see? And Mitch is just trying to turn in a little bit too early, coming out of the exits up the hill, clipped the gravel on the outside and spun the car. No damage though, so we'll be able to continue on in the session.
I think we'll see Mike definitely in the 25s. Surely he's got to put in something. Oh, and Mitch, oh god! Oh, he's got to be careful. Those tyres are cooked. I think he didn't realise that coming out of the exit of the S's there, the tyres are completely done.
So we've seen quite a quick burst at the start of the session there as Martin starts his lap, Jensen, and then only 4 laps set and everybody else in the pit, so unless people struggling maybe with invalidations.
It's an interesting one. Mike is out on the medium tyre, so
he was maybe just getting his eye in for the first run. Mike maybe looking to have a crack at the alternate strat.
Maybe. Depends what his rivals are going for. Nelly on the soft tyre out on his outlap as well. So we'll quickly see if there's anyone on a flying lap. I think Martin
yeah, just on board with him now, coming through the hairpin.
Not using any energy.
Oh yeah, neither he is.
So it's more just sight laps maybe.
So what is Nelly came out on? He's out on the soft compound. So the first of our 2 big hitters are out. Will this be the first of them actually out to do a committed lap and get a time on the board?
Oh, yellow flag.
It's almost a full cross yellow. That's at turn 1. Oh, Envinelli's went off. Left side. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Maybe just a little lapse of concentration.
Mike's just started his medium run. I don't know how this is going to play out, but
he's just on the grass. Yep, that's going to seriously affect his stomach. I think that makes him a bit hesitant on throttle there.
He's kept it nice through the S's start though. I'm going to rate his S's out of 10 here. Again, it keeps it fairly nice. I'd say a good 9. for Mike there on those mediums. And
carried good speed there for the compounder tyre he's on. That was absolutely on the limit for the first time now, yep. It's funny, Mike likes quite a tight apex. I find it a bit better to take the apex a bit wider, almost drive round the middle of the corner. I feel you can pick up traction a lot better. But obviously just shown that the game does allow slightly different lanes just where you're comfortable.
So is he going to keep this lap? So compared to his last time, he could be on for a mid-26, Chris, this time.
Which I think he would be very happy with, yes.
Yeah. Let's see what he does out the final
the high
corner.
side 26 is here.
It is
27, slots the car on pole. And Nelly will have just seen that. Medium compound tyre. So we'd expect Nelly to go on the very, well, of course. We'd expect if Nelly goes in a lap to be on the low side of the 26s. He's
slower than Mike at the moment. He's 1/10 off Mike on the softs. So at the moment, Nelly at disadvantage on this. He could end up behind his own teammate if he don't get this final sector right. Here he goes, and he does slot into P3.
So that is very interesting. Very, very interesting, that, Jensen.
Skarma goes P5, 27.7.
SPW now takes that over though, 27.3 for SPW, he slots into P5.
Yeah, all the time's starting to come in, Chris, I think.
Yep, let's see Officer Duffy and JNTEX where they are. Officer Duffy's coming round up to Spoon. I don't know if he's in traffic, he's not on no ERS deploying at the moment, so he's maybe on his first of 2 runs. JNTEX comes through the last chicane. Pins the throttle, keep the car, lets the car drift wide, probably better to keep to the inside line, short on the line, goes P4 at 26.8.
That might have cost him possibly a P3 or P2 there. Because that is
look
a
how
lot of
close
time
it is between P1, 2, 3 and 4 there, Jensen. Under a 10 split in the top 4 at the moment.
F. Lewis 4/10 up. He could be on for a decent time. Oh, he's lost the backhand. He almost hits the pit barrier. That was very close.
And he did improve.
P5 though.
Whoa, yeah, just came on board there. Mr. Rage, I think, on one. No, he's not.
Ranger in the walls there. I think Officer Doofy going for a lap now.
So let's go on board with the Doofus himself. He chose to stay away for that first curb on entrance. Get the car all up on that one.
And Rage Hunter goes to P1 with 26.3.
So, will that make Mike change his mind? I don't think so at the moment. Adam carries good speed as well through the 2 Degnas. Get out of Degna 2 really sharp. So let's say as he comes up to the hairpin now, does he take the tyre line? He chooses, yeah, he's kind of wider and opens the car up to get the throttle application. Kind of line I like myself. Keep the tighter line to the inside. It's coming up to Spoon. Got to be very careful. Spoon is a tricky corner. The rear screams at you here. Because it's just constantly the rear of the car always trying to break away until you get the axle loaded up.
And he's coming up to 130R here in Casio Triangle.
11.4, so he's about a second down. He could be high side 27s here. Adam could still get himself inside the top 10 here, I think.
P9.
On this medium compound, stay tight, take the car all the way to the line. It's going to be a 28.1 P9. You called it, didn't you?
Good luck from Adam. And I think everyone in the pits now.
Yeah, I think Pedro's our next man on a lap. He's going to come onto a bit of traffic in the Degnas, choosing to stay well out of the way. Matman does. So we're starting to see that congested midfield really take shape, Jensen. I think Officer Duffy, of course, Ranger, I think they're on the medium compound, so you probably see them go right into the thick of that fight on the low 27s, along with SPW, Mr. Rage, F. Lewis, if they choose to go to that tyre.
just looking to see if there's anyone on laps at the moment. Nelly's on the
Pedro.
out lap on the softs.
Pedro coming down to 130R on his first hot lap of the session, and it is a valid one. 1:12.2, second split. He's close to
maybe. Yeah, it's him versus Sibo now, I think.
You can't nice and tight all the way to the line. DRS open.
It's going to be close. He does beat him just about
ahead of his teammate. And that's kind of been the story of the season with the Haas boys. Some races, Sibo's been a bit quicker than Pedro, and other races, Pedro's had Sibo's number, especially in the qualifying front. But all in all, I think a very evenly matched team.
So
somebody improved there. And yeah, Officer Doofy did improve. He got himself up to P9 at 1:27.8 now for Adam. 2:10.
Be aware, Chris, if Nelly goes for this lap, then that will be his final run. If he doesn't complete his lap, he'll have to go at one more. The time is very, very difficult to tell, but
he is pushing here. You can see it. He's absolutely on the limit.
Really full throttle through here. He's got a car up ahead. Hopefully, it doesn't get in the way too much. He's half a tenth up. I think that's off to Doofy. He should get out of the way. And oh, this is not going to be good. Oh, Nelly's not going to like that. I think that is not done Nelly well at all there. I don't know if he's backed out of this or he's kept on going.
No, he's still going.
Oh, there's Pedro as well on the outside, but he's not doing too much. So Nelly firing through here. Let's see what his sector 2 is. He is half a second up. He's on for provisional pole at the moment. If he gets his final sector hit down, he'll take the provisional pole away. I think it's going to be a 26.1 from Nelly. Let's see if my prediction's right. Here we go. 26.1.
Oh, boom!
Alright.
You're wrong. When it comes to timings, you're never far wrong. GN-Tex in P4, he's up a 10th. GN-Tex could be threatening Michael here, Jensen.
Yeah,
as he comes through Spoon, let's see as he comes up to this sector 2 split. It was showing me he was a 10th up. If he's found a little more time now. He's just about a 10th down. So does he get any time through the last chicane? He only needs to find, if he can find a 10th
if he wanted to, and go for another set of softs if he does have some. I don't know if he does, but let's see. Is he going to carry on? He's going to carry on, complete the lap. I think he's going for another one. Because he's safe. He's got enough fuel and he's got enough energy just to do one more go at it.
Let's see, where is Mikey? Mikey on his medium, he's just coming through the 2 Degners. I think he's one of our lead mans on a fast lap. This will be his last run of the session as well, so Mikey looking to just probably slot himself up to close to SPW and Maharton in his medium compound. I think he wouldn't be too displeased if he could displace Matoman in that P11 slot as well and start on a nice fresh set of mediums from that grid slot. But Mikey's kind of the unsung hero. He's sitting in that P3 space in the championship. He's got a nice cushion, not a nice cushion, he's got about a 9-point gap to the other 7 drivers below him who are all separated by about 4 points. So every position gained in qualifying for Mikey could be a crucial one. As he comes down to the last chicane, he's going to tuck the car up nice, just clip the both curbs, apex nice, get that throttle down, keep the car tight to the inside, minimise the distance. It's going to be a low 27.4 for Mikey. P8, very, very close to SPW. SPW, of course, now out on the softs though.
Yeah. Is he going again? Mikey going for another run on those tyres straight after that. So everyone out on their final tyres, pretty much everyone on softs. Apart from Mikey, so it's pretty much only Mikey left on those softs. No,
Mike is on the soft, so is he going to change?
It's only if he nails the lap here though. He's got Rage Hunter right behind him as well, so he's got to be careful. They're going to try and leave each other a gap if they want the best out of their laps. Rage Hunter sits really close though to Mike, doesn't he?
Yes.
So this is our final runs. Nelly is retired, he's pretty much done for the session.
Let's see who could be a lead car here, I think. Oh, that's an outlap car. I think Ranger is a lead man on a lap at the moment. Yes, he is coming up to 130R for his last run of the session. I think Ranger will be home to get himself up close to that top 10. He is half a second up, so he is threatening that P10 spot. If he can find himself a few tenths, he maybe displace Skarma from that top 10. Can he find the time he needs through the last corner? He comes now, keep the car tight to the inside line. He's going to be a low side 27. He does, he goes P9. Skarma now drops to P11.
Mike is invalidated. Mike is done for qualifying. He was half a second up as well in sector 1. That was going to be a brilliant lap, but Mike has thrown it all away there, but he's got the medium start in hand, so he has lost something, but he's still going to gain back. And Rage Hunter's got to watch out.
And Mr. Rage Jensen, 8 tenths up. Mr. Rage could be here, slotting himself up into the second row of the grid here. He could come P3. There's somebody else to displace Mike here and possibly put him down to P4. How much time has he got in the pocket as he comes to the line? He goes P3, 26.4 for Mr. Rage, and gets
I think Rage Hunter ain't
teammate.
going to gain at the moment. Rage Hunter down on his time,
F.
nearly
Lewis
looking on
backs
course.
out his lap. Was F. Lewis's time on the medium that 27.1?
And
SPW to the line, is he going to improve? Sorry to jump in on you there, Jensen. He does. SPW
he
goes
P4.
P4.
Wow.
26.4 for SPW, and Mike now down to P5. Ranger YouTube not in a lap. Is Skarma on one? Can he get himself back inside the top 10 slot? He's coming through Spoon Corner. We'll get the best judge, and he's backed out it. Mataman to the line, he's shown as a second up. Oh, he could get massively here. He goes P6.
Oh, he almost did. That was big.
Officer Duffy not on one. I think Skarma backed out it. Ranger YouTube is off. So big changes in the closing minutes of the session, or closing seconds of the session. Enfinelli takes pole at Japan, Rage Hunter P2, Mr. Rage 3, SPW 4, Mike P5, of course, Mike the top runner on that medium compound, Matoman 6, JN Tech 7, F. Lewis P8, also I think F. Lewis is a medium runner in P8, Mikey on the mediums P9, Ranger will be softs in P10, and then Martin, Skarma, Duffy, Simo, Pedro and Mitch. The bottom 6 guys all with free tyre choice for the grid. That was a very nice ending to the session there, Jensen. SPW says would have been second. Yeah. So SPW lost a couple of tenths somewhere.
Yeah, that was crazy. Everyone pretty much put in their times there, but Nelly takes his second pole of the season. Of course, his only other pole was at the start of the season opener at Spain, but he's finally back on pole. And now it's going to be interesting here. Mike on the alternate strategy, of course, but trap position is really key.
Yes.
Around this circuit. And if Mike's going to have to lay down the pace in those mediums, he's got to do it thick and fast and try and get through. But see what happens anyway in the race.
And of course he's got a good Matoman and Gentex, very good guys off the line. So yeah, he could come under a bit of pressure into turn 1. That's probably what he doesn't need. He needs to try and just focus on getting that car off the line as quickly as possible and trying to, if not get anything done into one, at least stay in touch with that lead group, because they're going to be fast in the first couple of laps. And it looks kind of dull, Jensen. A cooler track, 4 tenths up sector 1, but then invalid. Yeah, Jensen said, Mike, it's very unfortunate.
With Mike on the mediums, there's quite a few guys going for the mediums, isn't there? So, what do you think? There could be
maybe
a bit
some
of rain
weather
in the
to
air
come.
possibly later on, or it could just be a choice of just a driver choice of strategies. But
this is true. Right, I'm going to grab Tinkle, Jensen, before we start.
yeah.
I will be back 30 seconds. I'm back, sir. So, chat, let's get a prediction for people watching. Do you think we should get a prediction for them, Jensen? How do you think the race pans out, boys?
I am going to go with my bold predictions, but my unlikely predictions, I guess. But, I mean, you never know. It could come true sometimes. So I'm going to go... Let's go with Mikey P1.
Woo! You like the sound of that?
Mikey P1, Cebu P2, and Mike P3.
Yikes, that is a wild one. Is that how we're going? Right, I'm going to go Matoman for the win. Take another win of the season. Skarma P2. And I think SPW runs quite well, so I'm going to put SPW in P3. I think we'll see some drama.
That's prediction though.
I'm sorry, Mike and Nelly, if I offend you, but I've got to predict. Skarma, don't laugh, come on. You never know. You never know. Jensen, it was almost like we were meant to say that together though. That was kind of weird. Because we even said it in the same kind of tone. So, Jensen, you're sitting in the grid. The run to turn 1, Japan is not... It's not massive, it's not a short one, but I think it's quite hard to really get a run. I think the driver, if you can stay beside the driver, you kind of start beside. It's easy to carry the momentum round the outside line at one.
Let's just say turn 1 at Japan ain't fable for greatness. So,
let's see. You see?
Well, I mean, seen iconic moments, I guess.
Yes.
In previous or recent time, I guess.
Mitch might be asleep. Oh no.
Oh no.
He would get disqualified before guys get around the first lap anyway, I would think.
A stranded racing point on the grid with a sleeping Mitchell inside.
Don't mind me, F1 drivers, I'm having a nap. Is that legit, Mike, or are you having me on? Can I actually report a sleeping driver?
Wait, who said that?
Hmm?
Don't mind me, F1 drivers, I'm having a nap. Who said that?
Mitch? That's what he said, if he's having a nap. I will just sleep on your grid. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to come off that now. I assume we will be doing some things soon.
Yes, I think so.
Unless they are currently screaming at Mitch, trying to wake him up in the party. I don't know.
Oh, I guess we're going now. Let's see, Chris. What's
Yes, it is time. I can confirm this. That Mr. Rage can confirm that Mitch may be asleep. Oh, this is interesting. So I would just say now, if for some reason the game does not rid that car and somebody hits that lap 1, it would be a restart. I would assume.
It won't. He's at right at the back, so I don't think anyone's gonna hit it.
So let's get some things on. Telemetry enabled, lap data enabled. Position changes
tires,
for the
Chris.
first lap. Oh yes, that is very true.
Oh, look at the bottom 6, Chris.
Quite a mix-up, isn't there? Mitch on the hard, so that would tell me that Mitch was definitely there and selected a strategy.
Mitch is there. Mitch
Yeah,
is
we
back.
have a moving Mitch.
Yes, and it is him controlling as well, so that is awesome
Good
to see.
stuff. No sleeping Mitchell. So,
No.
Jensen, 27 laps of Japan, what could possibly go wrong?
Quite a lot of things, really. but I mean, let's see what happens.
Mitch had a nap, so I expect Mitch to be in the top 10 by the end of lap 1.
Well, if you look, both Ferraris on the same strategy here. Alfa Romeo got a good strategy head on it. Soft and mediums. They could play
inside the top 5 as well.
Same with Red Bull as well. And same with Racing Point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mr. Rage, if he's staying in touch with Rage and Nelly, he could trigger the undercut and try and force the guys into wanting to pit to not lose track's position and try and release Mike a bit earlier to allow him to get on with his race. So you're actually spot on there. We could physically see some, for once, see some tactics at play.
Well, it's like everyone's slowing down now, waiting for the pickup point. I think the pickup point's a bit later. I think coming out of the chicane is the pickup point for formation lap. Nelly warming up the tyres here, and I think the pickup point is now. Yeah.
So they will line up on the grid. We'll go to our backman and Mitch. It's actually Pedro, I think. We'll watch them all file up, and then we'll jump to the front guy. We'll have a better idea of exactly when everybody is slotted on the grid. We'll get rid. Oh, let's go to position change now. Get rid of that. So Mitch is now stopped, and is Pedro. So let's go to this screen there. It's a good view, and we should get some lights any moment now. Yes, we do. We have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out, and we'll go at Japan. And I think it's a very good start from. No, I think Nelly's second phase was much better. He struggled, he bogged down. I think his Rage Hunter pulled a gear there. He just couldn't find the traction. Nelly's second phase. So I think it's a. Sorry, Jensen.
Yeah, both McLarens getting the better of both Alfa Romeos off the start. Looks like everyone got away clean. There's a bit of gravel touch in there, and Mike's really struggling. Look at Jay Intex going up the inside as well. Mike just holding up outside there. It's already everyone all to play for in the opening lap. Oh no!
Oh, and I see somebody's lost a wing back there. That could be F. Lewis, I think, hitting the back of J. Entex, and that's just the concertina effect into corners. You've got to be really cautious on brakes in the early laps. Pedro gets a 3-second time benefit for Connicunt, and he's had a moment. He's round at the hairpin, and he's now dead at the back of the field. I don't think he has damage though.
Nelly's already pulled a gap. Nelly is stamped on it.
And look at Matoman now all over the back of Mr. Rage. Mr. Rage didn't see him coming there. I think he's going to take this, claim that track position. Matoman maybe try for the outside line at the entrance of the chicane. Mr. Rage placing his car in all the right places, and he's through. Rage Hunter, did he pick up damage there though? There was a good scud of contact, and I think he's actually got through unscathed.
Mr. Rage has touched the gravel, I think.
What's happening here?
I think everyone's glitching out. But Mataman's gone through, but he goes wide. Mr. Rage goes up the inside.
Oh, and Mr. Rage had a moment there. I think he struggled on traction. So the early parts of the race is alive and well. For somehow we've lost Nelly off the timing board. He's dropped into P8. Let me get on board with the leader. He is. I'm not actually sure how he's. I think he's 2 seconds ahead. Yeah.
So Pedro leading the race at the moment.
Oh, yellow flag, sector 1. Is that? Damn it! Is that contact? I think that was F. Lewis at turn 1. Or Skarma.
He's paid for new wing and tyres.
So 1.5 the gap. SPW is now in P2.
Yeah,
so through all that,
at the Casio Triangle.
SPW chasing Nelly.
Oh, Mataman chasing the Ferrari of Rage Hunter at the moment. McLaren got a green start, Chris. Both guys were in P4 and P6 off the start. Now they're up to P2 and 4. So,
and if we look at Michael Jensen, Michael below 60%, I don't think he's quite in the most comfortable position he would like to be at the moment.
Rage. Rage's gonna look on the outside. He's gonna make Mataman go wide again. He's gonna try and go up the inside. He can't. He's gonna have to slot in behind again. It's a tricky overtaking track, Suzuka is, and he doesn't have DRS advantage as well. And if DRS is active, they're all in the trains, so it's not going to affect them too much.
So Jensen, going back to the start of the race there, do you think with the cloud cover, the track is obviously going to be much cooler than qualifying when we had bright sunny skies? Do you think that's just made Mike struggle in the opening first couple of sectors to get the tyres fired up?
Yeah, it's a bit like a Portugal situation in 2020.
Because he was under all sorts of pressure on the first few corners. But he seems to settled into his rhythm now.
Well, looking at his tyre temperatures, he is at mid-90s, maybe low mid-90s maybe, at the moment. But looking at everyone else's, they're on about 100 coming out of those sections. So Nelly's got 2 seconds, by the way, Chris, out front. He is pretty much gapping away as much as he can.
Let's see a leader interval. How far now is Mike from Nelly? Because of course that will be Mike's biggest focus. Leader gap, Mike is 4.6, so it's not massive. I think if he can stay within that 5-second window of Nelly, he'd be doing alright come pit time, but of course that's easier said than done. So biggest gainers on the first lap, Duffy up 3, Mitch up 3. It's good to see young Mitch. I say he's inside that top 10, he's halfway there. Maharton gained a couple, Mataman and SPW of course.
Pedro
jump on board.
Mitch going, and I think Pedro's just got through that. And Pedro's got a bit of wing damage with him as well.
Yellow flag, sector 1. No, no damage, so I think he's just spun the car. And that's an issue we will see a lot when you load up the tyres through the S's. If you just be slightly too aggressive with that throttle, the car just spits you out. So look at the train behind SPW, yes. And this kind of happens at Japan, doesn't it, Jensen? We get this. It is one of the worst tracks for a train actually. And getting a good run at somebody out the last chicane is not easy. Unless you have a good tyre advantage. But if you're kind of on the same strat, yeah, it's tough. Well, we see Rage Hunter think about sneaking up to SPW. ERS is much the same, I think. Maybe Rage Hunter just doing a bit of recovery here. Just building the energy back up.
Yeah, Nelly is cruising at the moment, and yeah, it is not what Mike wants at the moment. That dirty air is heavy around the track.
So let's look at where would Mike come. So where is Pedro on circuit?
That was a big corner cut.
For who?
There.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike had it. Big chunk of the Degner there. Wouldn't be surprised yet. It's only his first warning though, so he's pretty much safe at the moment. But he doesn't need to over push it really. He's gonna, I'd say, start pushing when those softs start to lose their advantage.
So I think probably a couple of laps time.
Yeah. Probably about
6 or 7.
Near the end of the stint. Near the end of the soft stint. Lap 7, probably.
And then what do you think we'll see most? Oh yeah, see that?
He's getting close to his teammate here. The Alfa Romeo is going to go wheel to wheel. Let's see what Mike does. Is Mike going to be let through here by his teammate, or is Mr. Rage going to defend? Mr. Rage is going to use his energy and defend that position. Tex, I think he's still in the same party, but they ain't.
No favours at Alpha.
Yeah. Looks like Mr. Rage ain't on Team Mike.
I think it is tough though, because of course. You see Mike starting to struggle in the dirty air.
I just caught that, and it's that Ranger in the pits. An early pit stop to the medium tyres. He's going to come out just behind his teammate Mitch in P14 now.
So that's of course something that's out of Mike's books as well, because he's on the medium tyre. The last thing he wants to do is to box to get out of this traffic and try and maybe find some clean air and get some good solid lap times in, because the strategy's on at the moment. It'd just be way too early. Yellow flag, sector 1, is that going to be somebody out? I think it's Mitch round. Not out, but he's staying well out of the way of the guys coming through.
For that.
Oh wow.
Sacrilege.
No, don't pin the throttle, Mitch. Get off that throttle. Gentle, gentle. That's you. Lovely jubbly. The tyres are going to be dirty, dirty. Nelly now 3.5 ahead, Jensen. He, as you say, cruising. Absolutely chilling.
Look at the 2 alphas. And there goes Mike around the outside of his teammate. Mike, he's going to get the move done on his teammate, I think. And they both go side by side. I think Rage, oh my god, he almost hit the pit wall there. I thought he was going into the pits, but now I think he's just lost the back end, and he's gone into JN Tex's path now. JN Tex is going to make an easy move out of that. So Mike made a critical move from himself, but that hasn't helped Alfa Romeo at all. And their constructors' hopes there is they end up losing 1 point from that if you take away net positions right now. So, but this could.
And Mike wants to be careful there. He's running a big dangerous game, running that inside curb on the exit to come up the hill at the S's. You take too much of that and it's going to whip your car straight out the race. And Mike seems to have pace, he seems to have pace though getting through. I think he's going to show Mr. Rage why he had to force that overtake, because he's got his own race to run, and if he wants to take the race to Nelly in this strategy, he's got to get through these cars.
So Mataman's out of DRS range now, very clearly out of DRS range. I think Mike's going to have him quite easy into turn 1. Or maybe into the chicane if he goes for a move. I don't think he is though.
Yellow flag, sector 1
yellow flag
again, sector 1 and 2. I think that's just a slow car coming out there.
Mitch, oh no.
So here comes Michael, like you said. Damage. He's going to pull to the racing line. Matoman not even putting up any form of a fight there. I don't even think he was running any energy. Mike breezes through, and just ahead we've got Rage Hunter and SPW going side by side. I just seen that at the front of the battle between Mike and Matoman. So while there's a battle for 4th and 5th, there's that battle for 2nd and 3rd as well, and Mike's going to try and sneak up onto the back of this now while they fight, and the more they fight, the more favours Mike gets, because Mike it makes it harder for these guys to drive away. So
Mike is now,
he's proved why he had to get through, hasn't he?
The tyres are now coming to his window now, and Pedro stops again. He's going for the hards to the end, it looks like, from here. So I think he may have picked up more damage possibly. And Mr. Rage versus JN Tex again. I think Rage tried for a move, but JN Tex got back through the hairpin maybe. And these two are going to get really close here. Mr. Rage is using absolutely everything, I think. Well, he's turned it off a bit early, but I think he's going to go for a move into the hairpin, Chris.
Yeah, on board now.
Well, he got really close. Is he going to go for anything? He's
good
going to wait.
Car placement from Gentex there in defence.
He's going to wait for the straight. Oh, a bit on the curve there for Gentex. That might cost him. Mataman in the pits. Mr. Rage, he's going to go through. I think that's quite easily through as well. And oh, is that a lap car? Mitch getting out of the way. Very, very good.
Yellow flag say, oh yeah, that's from Mitch. Look at Mitch, you can, Mike, sorry, you can really start to see now,
yeah.
on the exit of the S's, you can see the superiority and tyre gap between the two compounds now. Mike is really starting to show that his medium is switched on and these guys are struggling. The gap, he's just outside that 5 second gap that I said to Envinelli would be critical. I think that's just Mitch moving again. So Mike is still in this race. It's not been an easy first third, but he is still there. It just depends the pace, either when these guys pit or when he clears them.
Matterman could gain a huge amount of time off these guys as well. The new mediums using running clean air.
So I'm going to stay in that fight, Jensen. I need the low again. Apologies.
Let's see what Mike's going to do. Is Mike going to push? They're both coming to the pits. So Mike's got the clean air now, and he's got a bit of DRS here. He could just go and chill, stomp in the laps. And let's see how this gap changes between him and Nelly this lap.
So I heard you saying that two guys pit. Mike now behind Nelly, Jensen, so I think this time gap, this 5 second gap is a crucial one to watch. I think Nelly will be paying close attention to it as well, but I think he'll be scheduling to box in the next lap or two, but Mike is really starting to carve into that. Yep, he is eating that lap time, so Mike in the zone. Let's see where that comes. Where did SPW and that come out? So SPW got out just behind Mikey, but ahead of Matterman by a good couple of seconds as well.
So Matterman's undercut didn't pay off there.
No.
Let's see, it's another yellow flag. Is that?
That's a Red Bull. Is that F Lewis? Oh no, and he's got damage as well.
Yeah. The race has gone from bad to worse for F Lewis.
Japan does that sometimes, it bites.
And
Mike now 4.3 by Nelly, but Nelly is in.
Looking like some early 80s front wing now. F Lewis has got.
Yes. An IndyCar one.
Yeah. But Nelly into the pits on the mediums. See where he comes out.
So I'm going to go to leader gap and watch the gap now.
Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, Nelly almost gets cut up there.
Seymour wanted the position. I guess he's entitled to fight that on the way out, so I guess this is
not going out. Yeah, that's going to be
not good for Nelly, jackpot for Michael.
Yeah, look at SPW is only 2 seconds away from Nelly. Nelly's lost a load of time from staying out.
Yellow flag, sector 3, I think that's F Lewis going right down for the hairpin to get himself.
Let's see what Nelly does though. Cebu. And here comes Nelly. Nelly's going to go for it in the hairpin, I think. Here goes Nelly up the inside.
Oh, the fat touch! No damage, although I think Nelly's going to go through now. And if Cebu gets an absolutely great drive out the hairpin though, and that's going to leave Nelly behind, but Nelly's going to turn on that energy. I think he clipped the grass there, and I think he's going to have to wait until they run to 130R, so Cebu putting up a fight. He is fighting hard, but Nelly's a wise character. He'll wait and pick his spot.
Mike's be relishing in this. Here we go.
Nelly having to push on, but here he goes. 130. Oh, here he goes, and moves like that is why he leads the championship.
And he's getting away as quick as he can, using absolutely everything. He does not want Cebu close after that. It's so how difficult Cebu made it for him.
So Mr. Raging Rage Hunter coming out the pits, they have lost out massively. Officer Duffy, is that a soft tyre? I've just seen him bolt on. Did I see Officer Duffy bolt? It'd be a big ass to take it. Oh, it's a medium. I am blind.
So, looking at this, is SPW, the world's most famous attacker, and Sabu, the world's most famous defender.
Oh, here we go. This should be
World of
interesting.
F1.
I am on board for this one. SPW is going to look at it. Sable defends the inside
Around the
line.
outside.
He's
No,
going
he's
to
gonna
do
do
it.
this.
And he is. He's
gonna
going
done
for
it.
it. Oh, he's
What
through
a move.
Jensen.
Absolutely powerful move there.
And I
from
think that
SPW.
fair from Sebo. He came through the kink and then defended one line. SPW went right. You want the inside? I'm going to go the outside, and round he went. Yellow flag, sector 2. I think that's Mitch letting traffic through once again. So the gap, Mike to Nelly, 17 seconds. Jensen, what is a pit stop here? 22?
It's about 20, maybe, around that.
So Mike's going to come right out in the thick of... Yeah. He's going to be right there with that fight with Sebo and that.
Saber in the pits, and Mikey. These two going hard tyre. They are.
Interesting.
So they don't think their mediums will make it to the softs, so they're going to go for the hards. Same with Sabu. So both of them trying it, and Mikey... Oh, I thought he jumped Sabu there, but no, that was... No, don't worry. I saw another car in the box, I think that was...
Mike's doing a job here as well, Jensen. 16.9 the gap to Nelly. It was
What is it?
17.1.
That's Merck's rage in the barriers there at the...
No
Exit
damage,
of
so
the
maybe just a drop of the
yes,
car. Guys are doing well to minimise the damage, having big moments through the S's. I would have retired the car by now. So yeah, as I was saying, the gap was 17.1 the lap before. The gap now 16.5, so it's coming down. But maybe not just as fast as Nelly would like it to be coming down.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Rage ain't... I think he's just came out on those mediums as well, so... Fresh tyres ain't scrubbed in yet. Maybe that might be it. The lack of grip.
Oh, and SPW picks up his first time penalty. He just cut the exit of the last chicane. I think he was focusing on getting a run because he knows Rage Hunter's there and in that DRS pocket, and he's pushing on. Again, and I don't think it'll be close enough this time for the move into turn 1. What is the gaps further back? I think it is our closest. Mikey coming up to the back of Sebo. I think he will just sneak into the DRS here in the braking zone. Mikey on the hard compound tyre, like Jensen said. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace the hard tyre puts out in respect to the guys on the medium. And then of course when they get to the end of that medium stint, how good will it be? Be expecting Mike in shortly as well. Alright, we'll see Mike in latest lap 18 for a set of softs for that dash to the end. And looking at the gap, Jensen, Mike is going to have to get the overtake done on track, but I think he is safe to SPW, or it's going to be very close. That is the critical thing for Mike. He's going to be very close to be coming out in that battle between SPW and Rage Hunter, so here we go. Is Mike going? Is he going hards?
No, he can't be. Soft tyres out there for him at the moment. That is a very early stop.
So
though,
let's
Chris.
watch Nelly comes through. But this battle between SPW and Rage Hunter, this is the one I was wondering about. SPW had to get out of the throttle there. Is Mike leaving his box? He is. SPW is going to go through though. I think SPW and Rage Hunter both are going to be well through. So Mike, this is going to be the critical battle for Mike. Because Rage Hunter and SPW are in a big fight. And Mike does not need to be stuck up there. That's a Red Bull. I think it could be F. Lewis again. Struggling a bit on the hard compound tyre.
Mike does not have to push so hard in this situation at the moment. He's just got to wait for his moment to come. Because, yeah, you can see he's got plenty of advantage there. And another major yellow flag has just left Lewis letting him through. And Mike going for the move here, I think. Rage Hunter leaves the door open on the inside for Mike. He goes deep, but he gets the move done. Does Mike, but Rage Hunter is going for the exit here. But
look at the grip difference there. He just absolutely launched out the corner. So Mike is moving on.
I think he wants to try and get us past SPW now. So this lap,
Wait up,
SPW.
get the DRS, get a nice clean pass down into turn 1 and give yourself the DRS to open that first lap of catching and closing down that gap to Nelly. It's not big either, let's look, gap 2 leader.
Mike will see that. Mike will see that red light flashing in front of him.
Oh yes, SPW day rating.
Here comes the exit, look an exit there from Mike, and I don't think SPW's fighting it at all, he's just letting him go. He knows.
Yes, that is no fighting there. So, Mike now, interval 4.7. So remember, pre-pit stop, the gap was 5 seconds. It's now 4.5. And closing. But what Mike needs to not do, as Jensen said, he needs to not over-push this early stint. He's got the job done now with clean air. He just needs to use the tyre to creep up. Yep.
He's 7 tenths up, so he's going to go fastest lap. Looks like it's going to be on course for that as well.
So stay with this. The SPW Rage Hunter battle, SPW and Rage Hunter battle rages on. Or I think Ranger YouTube and Mr. Rage having a bit fight as well. Also Duffy round. So he's had a moment. Too many rage in the chat. On the track even.
Rage. Oh, so many of these guys.
So was that. That's Mitch in the pit for a new wing. We've got Ranger and Mr. Rage side by side. Yes, they are coming up to spoon. Ranger going to try and yeet one round the outside. I think Mr. Rage on a much better compound tyre. Mike gets a time penalty, Jensen. Mike has picked up his first time penalty of the race, so now we might see Mike really push. 2 seconds up in his time gap to Nelly, now 3.7, a second gone that lap around.
Mike and Nelly equal on energy now. It's just like the Russia situation here. But this time Nelly has got the on-track advantage. So
Mike,
Nelly can hold
Mitch
him
staying well out of the way, sorry.
And is that Mataman? Mataman at the moment, I think he's just lost out a lot of time. And yeah, Mike is on it at the moment. 3.1 seconds, he has to pull another 3 seconds after he gets past Nelly. Only if he does get past Nelly though, because Nelly will need to try and hold him back as much as he can.
Yes.
And at the end of this stint, on these soft tyres, I don't think they're going to be in good condition at all to pull any more pace.
So it was an interesting one, the early box. I'm sure Mike will tell us exactly why he chose that, but the thing is, Rage Hunter here is hunting. Rage Hunter, yeah, I think he's on for a really good podium tonight, which I think he'd be very happy with. Pedro picks up a time penalty of 3 seconds for multiple warnings of corner cutting.
Naughty Pedro.
If it's not a bad strat call, it's a cutting corner penalty. Oh, I think he'll just be very happy that he's surviving on the lead lap at Japan, and he's had to take an extra stop, so to only be 19.7 off the back of kind of the closest pack, I think he's actually showed he's had some not too bad pace here, and just not been able to show it. So we have cars side by side there. Let me see that on.
Oh, is that?
No, I think that's maybe just Mitch letting somebody through.
Yeah.
So Mitch needs to disable his overtake before he accelerates here.
Mike's
not going to help.
Nelly with 0 warnings as well, so Mike has got a big challenge ahead of him at the moment.
So I think the only thing that saves Mike now is possibly a safety car, honestly. And trying to get, because I don't think he can get up, as you say, with the tyre. Get up and have enough in the tyre to break that time penalty gap now.
Is more yellows Mitch letting through again. Let's look at on-track battles at the moment. So we got Skarma and Pedro, and we've got Mikey and Officer Doopy starting to heat up. And I think Rage Hunter is now dropped out of DRS from SPW, so that battle may have just concluded.
Rage Hunter's focus will just be staying within the time gap now, I think.
Yeah, 3-second penalty for SPW as well, so Rage Hunter just has to stay there, get the podium.
So Jensen, as we creep on to kind of the last third of the race, I suppose we can have a little early chat about an early driver of the day, or somebody that stood out so far. And I think in regards to a standout driver so far, I think SPW has drove a really solid race. Maharton though, he seems to be making good gains. I'm unsure if he needs to box though. No, I don't think he does. In fact, he's just on a brand new set of softs, so Maharton could gain actually some good positions here. Maharton on a new soft, 8 laps to go. JNTEX and Matoman, I would say 6 seconds, very much in striking distance.
I would say SPW or Martin at the moment would be my...
Yeah. Let's see, of course, Mike could still maybe creep up to Nelly and get the jump. I think if he can get the jump now and on that tyre strategy and get the 3-second gap, that would be worthy of a driver of the day performance. We've had a moment for a Red Bull. I think that's F. Lewis again having another moment out the Degnas. Yes, it is. He's got some traffic coming through as well. I think that is... might actually be the Nelly Mike battle. It is. Look at this, Jensen, look how close Mike is to Nelly now, 1.4 seconds behind. This race is on for Mike.
Yeah, but
the tyres...
once he reaches, those tyres, they're not going to make it, in my opinion, Chris. Well, I mean, at the pace he's running at, it doesn't look like he's pushing them at all, to be honest. He's trying to save them to the end, and by the end, it'll be very decent.
So, 1 second, Jensen, sorry, my 3-year-old bladder is at it again.
So, ain't much going on at the moment, guys, so... I mean, actually, Mikey, skip onto Mikey, Chris, if you can.
I am here, and there he goes.
On Ranger, and Ranger slots in behind. Mikey moves up to P9, and retakes his grid position away from Ranger, puts Ranger back where he started as well.
Yellow
and
flag,
a yellow flag,
and
a double yellow,
and it's a green flag.
And that clears away.
We are evil, Jensen. So, I was thinking about something there and I totally forgot what it was. Yes, this is what I was going to say. Something that I think we should mention, we've not spoke about it a lot. Mike was on a really good run. I know he's driving a really good race and I don't want to take anything away from him, but I think Nelly's shown today that he's still got it to take that drive at the front, you know, and command the race. He's not done that for a few races, and he's
it's a big
today's and I think that should be acknowledged. It's been a really solid performance on a track where maybe the pads holds a few disadvantage. You know, he could take a lot away from this one.
Look at the gap now, Chris. It's under a second. Mikey's got it under a second.
5 laps
so
to
go.
go.
Get through and pull the gap here.
You'll see that red light flashing ahead.
I'm going to quickly look at the warnings. So Nelly still at 0. Mike, he's got to be careful. He's 1 away from another penalty. He picked up 2 in the 3 laps after he got his recent penalty. So he's got to be careful. He's got to remember there's still 5 laps left of this.
So Mike gaining Rage Hunter all over the back of SPW as well with a massive ERS advantage. Ranger YouTube gets a time penalty for multiple warnings for track limits. I think we can see Rage Hunter have a go at SPW as well. Let's go back on board with Mike. They're going to be the first guys through the DRS zone. But nearly derating, so he'll have no energy to push away. Mike's fuel light just comes on, 4 laps to go. I think that's absolutely fine.
So Rage Hunter's back in that DRS gap, isn't he? So he's looking comfortable where he is right now.
So I think Mike's been smart. I think Mike's using the fuel. I think he's using fuel usage to his advantage to get longevity in the tyre. He is turning the fuel up on the straights, and then as he comes through sector 1, I think he's fully lean. And it just shows, we know ourselves, gents, and what lean mixture can be like. You can be quite aggressive on your throttle application, and it keeps the wheel spin quite low, which will just help take care of the rear tyres, and I think it's just allowed Mike to creep up onto the back of Nelly.
You don't want moments like that though, Mike, and he's only 5 tenths away. Chris, we could see a move this lap. And Mike would have to get one done now if he wants any chance of winning this race, because Nelly is not going to be picking up a penalty.
No, and I think once he tucks right up behind, if he doesn't get through in a DRS and he's right up behind him through the S's, I think that's when he's really going to feel the deficit in the tyre wear. Because his front left tyre is not looking good. Sorry.
Yeah, Nelly's got a 1% advantage on energy. It doesn't seem much, but he has it. Nelly using absolutely everything. Mike, he did, but he's turned down. The RS ain't too powerful here, really. So it is not easy. I think Nelly wants to keep this position on track as well, and the more laps he keeps Mike behind, the better chance he's going to do it, because those tyres are going to get better and better in his favour.
Kudos to Mike though, he is trying.
Yeah. On tyres that are pretty much should be at the end of their stint now, but he is carrying them on. Is that Ranger? Oh, it's Mitch. Mitch has had a moment.
So he's closed right up there, he's within 4 tenths out of Spoon Jensen. He's tucked right up in the slipstream now.
Oh, he's wasting the energy now.
Should get a nice 10-12% back in this nice big braking zone. Although what you don't want to be is derating.
It's a 5% advantage for Nelly at the moment. It's the exit, and it's not enough for Mike this time around as well, so
Nelly is getting off that last corner really, really well.
Yeah, and every time it's going to be more better for him and Mike.
It's good to see them both finally be up there as well, kind of having this slug out. I think Japan maybe not the best track for them really to do some good wheel-to-wheel racing between each other, but you know, Mike has tried to push up. Nelly's getting off the corners like an absolute beast, and it's so hard to catch. We know what the traction's like on that pad, and I think it's the leveler, that is the leveler here for the controller, I would say. Because if you're getting off the last corner really well, you're a hard car to overtake, as we know.
Yeah, Nelly's not having to use too much energy now. He's saving up a bit. Mike derating almost 100% of the time, and Nelly just using a bit there. Oh, what's happening there? Nelly lagging a little bit, but Nelly's going to keep ahead with that advantage on energy. Just about 2 laps to go, Chris.
So yeah, I think Mike is not going to clear it. I think he still wants to get. I think he'd like to be ahead on track though. There's still that bit between them, you know. They're both racing drivers, and you know, first across to take that checker flag's always nice. Yeah, we could still see something nearly running a bit of the grass into the first exit and down into the second. That won't do you any favours there. And I think the battle between Rage Hunter and SPW is still raging on, as I have said, but I don't think Rage Hunter's just chilling. I think he's going to be very, very happy to take home a podium here. 68% energy. I mean, if he really wanted to, he could blitz through SPW. Oh, and Mike! No, don't do that, Michael! Oh, well controlled, young man. Jensen, Mike was pointing at the wall on the exit of Spoon Corner and just half throttle, got the car corrected and got it back in a straight line. That will be it over from even having a go. Yeah. That's probably just spiked the temperature in the tyres to a really uncomfortable level.
Yeah,
but
I think the tyres are gone now. Nelly pretty much
he gave it a go. And fair play, fair play. SPW and Mr. Rage, let's watch this. Is Mr. Rage going to have a go at SPW? Get that overtake on, last lap move, Mr. Rage, send it.
Yeah,
here he comes.
SPW rating. Here we go. Is Rage going to go on the outside? He's going to do a Raikkonen on Pissy Geller. He is. That was brilliant.
Oh, and SPW just came back through on the outside line, and Mr. Rage is going to cut back on the outside. SPW holds. Good defending and good racing. SPW says, I've got a penalty, but I'm still going to fight you.
Oh, Mitch. Mitch is retired. I think he's retired on just chose to retire, I think. But I think he'll still get points.
Oh, and JNTEX and Mato, man. Will that spiral into anything? Let's go back to Rage and SPW. Mr. Rage with the ERS advantage still maybe has a chance to have a go at SPW down into the last chicane. SPW locks up that inside tyre. He's going to get off the hairpin pretty well though.
Oh, is
Rage Hunter on with the overtake. No, he's got off it. So I think he just wants to stay in touch, get a good run off the exit of Spoon, and see what he can do up into 130R. You'll see that red light flash just before the braking phase of the corner. SPW got a tremendous drive off Spoon. That may just bury the hatchet in the fact that getting the move done, but he is coming for it, Jensen. Are we going to see a big move? He is, he's going to come at SPW, he's going to squeeze up. Oh, SPW, and he gets the elbows out. Yeah. Mr. Racing, right, fair enough, I'll just slap him behind. I'm going to take your position anyway. But good bit of racing there between the two, to the line. Yeah. Rage Hunter, sorry, he takes P3, SPW4, JNTEX will come home in P5. I don't know if any swaps between him and Matoman. Matoman does get P5, good day for the McLaren boys in that Constructors battle. JNTEX 6, Maharton 7, Mr. Rage will bring home P8. Mikey, I think, will be P9. Will he gain any? Quite a big gap to the guys in front, so unless they had huge amount of penalties, I think it will be P9 for Mikey. It is. Officer Duffy will bring home a P10. Sebo in 11, Ranger P12, Skarma 13, Pedro 14, F Lewis P15. Not a bad ending, Jensen.
That was...
Yeah, SPW, same for Mike. Penalty maybe wobbled the race a bit for them, but hey, he's put up a fight at the end. Mike had a right good go at Nelly. He tried, even with the early jump to the pits, it was always going to be a struggle on that soft compound, like Jensen said in the last few laps, but he got up there, tried to have a go. Nelly was just getting off that last corner a bit too strong. We'll get the guys in for a chat though, see what they're saying to it. I don't think I have Rage Hunter. I do not. Do you have Rage Hunter on PS?
No.
We'll see.
But I could try and type in his name, I guess.
We'll see if we can get a P1 and P2. See if it will come for a chitty. A good race there. Envinelli there takes home the win. Mike, as we said, give it a go. He takes the fastest lap point, so points recovered in that regards. The fastest lap was a big gain as well, 1.1 second faster than any other driver on track. So at one point Mike was absolutely flying. That shows how much he tried to push for that victory. I think maybe the starting phase is what maybe killed Mike's race. The cooler temperatures on track, the medium tyre just not firing up early doors and getting swallowed up by a couple of these soft guys, especially going through the S's. As soon as you get offline just a little bit, it can cost a lot of time. But here comes Rage Hunter, Envinelli. I'm sure Mike will join at some point as well. So we'll go P3 to P1. Rage Hunter, congratulations on your podium. P3, solid race. I think happy with that. You tried to have a, I think you and SPW had a good swing at each other on the closing few laps, but he got the elbows out and defended Hingme. But I think you were happy just to know that the penalty was going to get you the position anyway.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, sort of saved up my irons for the last couple of laps, but he's a very, very hard defender, and yeah, tried to definitely run me out to get me to try and pick up a penalty. But yeah, it's a good race, nice and clean. Yeah, happy on the podium, man. It was good pace. The guys up front, Mike and Nelly, are just
pair of crackheads.
Yes, they are, mate. Yes, they are. But no, it was a tough race and it was a good one. So yeah, thanks very much, man.
No, congratulations, of course. I think the start was interesting for everybody. I struggled to think, exactly how your start panned out. Did you jump Mike early? Or I think you started in front of Mike actually, didn't you?
Yeah, it was me and Nelly on the front row, but the start was...
oh, so you were jumped by SPW. SPW got the jump in the first few laps, didn't he?
Yeah,
and
he
then you
stuck his
came
elbows
back.
out and got past on the first few laps. So, yeah, and then he picked up that penalty, and of course, once that happens, you just got to keep the pace up, yeah. So, yeah, it was a tough race for sure. The pace was really good, but yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, so congratulations, Jensen. Do you have anything for Rage Hunter?
Yeah, good race from you, man. Yeah, a really good attempt at SPW. I know he's really hard to get by, so props to you there. It's unfortunate he can get by, but still.
Yeah, man, he doesn't like to give his position up, does he? But yeah, I wasn't going to run. I wasn't going to run wide. I wasn't going to run wide for him to possibly pick up the pace. So
yeah, you played that nicely. Well done.
Cheers, man. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
So, Michael, P2. I think what could we say? Maybe a race made harder by the opening lap of your race.
Yeah, I think.
What?
He really killed me today.
So what? Bree Jensen said that the track, it looked very cloudy at the start. Was it a bit cooler and the mediums just not playing ball in the first kind of sector or two of the lap, or just the soft guys that much grippier?
I think you're always going to get jumped by at least one guy at the start if they're on the softer tires, but the mediums actually gripped up very quickly. I just couldn't get past.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a DRS train and it was SPW, Rage, Matto and the other Rage. I just couldn't do anything. I felt kind of after about lap 3, I think I actually could have started hunting Nelly down straight away, but obviously I had those guys in front, and then when I pitted for the softs, they just died instantly for me. They did the fast lap, did maybe 2 more laps where I gained a big chunk on Nelly, but then it was kind of just minimal gains.
Yeah. I think that was the earlier jump to the soft, because yeah, the ideal scenario would probably go a lap later or two in that, but was it kind of just you need out that traffic and just get some clean air to try and get the pace on the circuit to try and close the gap, or was that?
To be honest, because the strategy thing didn't tell me, so
Oh, so you just kind of guessed. But in the end, for a soft tyre that was maybe struggling, you tried your best to have a good go at Nelly. He was getting off that last corner though really well, and it's kind of turn one's probably your biggest opportunity, especially in the deeper phases of the race. But the way he was getting off the corner, you just couldn't, even with DRS and ERS, it was really hard to close that gap.
Definitely, I think it's an opportunity lost again. I think, in fairness, I may have been the quickest guy on track today. It's just things didn't go my way.
That's it.
And then the penalty obviously killed kind of a lot of momentum. I think Nelly could sit back and relax then once that happened.
Yeah. But anyway, congratulations. It's a good job, man. You tried. You know, for the tricky start, you got yourself back through the pack. You made some good overtakes. Maybe your teammate done you no favours, but you eventually got that move forced through, and then once you were through that, you kind of kicked on a bit. So you did recover well. I think P2 maybe not your ultimate outcome, but still fastest lap as well. So good job.
Yes.
Jensen, anything for Michael?
Yeah, it was. I'm guessing. It was definitely gonna be hard. Starting a new pack, especially on the mediums, but I'd say definitely good, like, determination the second stint on the soft. I don't know how you made them to last, to be honest, because those I'd say will probably end in like 10 laps for the soft stint, but it was a good effort even at the end there. We saw a big moment, but a bit unfortunate how it came out in the end, and yeah, good luck in the next race.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give it everything, don't I?
Yeah, this is very true. And on to our race winner, Nelly. I think I said it just in the closing laps of the race. Mike had been on a good run of form, and you kind of swung back that momentum today. I think your opening laps, you knew Mike was going to be behind, and I think you put the damage in where it had to be done when Mike was caught in the traffic, and ultimately, yeah, that looked like the Nelly we were seeing maybe a few weeks back.
Yeah, it's good to stop the momentum, which I lost like mid-season, but I still come in second even when I lost that momentum. But it's great to swing my massive cricket bat back in my favour. I'm so happy. Japan, I was not expecting to be this fast coming into this morning, but I was quick. I was freaking quick. I think qualifying could have gone better for me and Rage. We both got held up on our fast laps. Yeah, you just gotta bring it home. And my traction up the last corner was insanely good. So yeah. I'm gonna be smug about this all night.
Yeah, well, I was saying that in the race as well. Ultimately, that's what made the overtake impossible. The way you got off the last corner was making any chance of getting a run into turn one non-existent.
Definitely.
So that showed that even in Thingy, you know, even when he closed up, you were just doing the right things with the car to keep the gap at a position where he couldn't really mount an attack, and I think that should be, what would we say, commended.
Yeah. Thank you. It was just all about keeping just enough ER, because you might have saw I had like in the last 5 laps going into turn 1, I had 1% ERS. It was on the ragged edge, but it was bloody fun. It was like France in many ways, all over again. But
yeah.
his how the softs held on for that long? Respect to him.
Yeah, he done it. I was quite impressed as well. They did not look healthy on the car, but I guess that's maybe the advantage. You had the advantage of the traction, and he had the advantage to try and do that distance on the tyre to do something different, and ultimately it just kind of met in the middle, and the lead driver won the race in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Lot of positives to say from this weekend. Just commends to shout out to Rage. He did really well. Great first
Yes.
podium. We were talking all good during the race. Well done to Mike. He did really well on whatever strategy he had. But I was better, and I'm going to win this championship now.
That is a confident sounding Nelly going forward. So, Jensen, one more call before we leave. We did mention it. Our driver of the day. We had two drivers in mind, but I think one may maybe.
SPW and Martin, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. But then Rage Hunter, of course, scoring the first podium. No penalties. He was one of the only few. I think Rage Hunter, because he gets into that podium and he gave SPW a good run for it in the end. I think Rage Hunter deserves it today.
Yeah. Given that he had to experience the SPW experience, or what we call it.
That is worthy of a bonus point.
Yeah. So that's not too bad. Yeah, like, he gave it a good go, at least. He didn't get by, but, I mean, it's SPW.
Welcome to ODL, Rage Hunter.
Yes, so there we go. Rage Hunter gets our driver of the day for this week, and OTL will be back on Wednesday with OTL Elite, and then you will want to tune in next Monday because this championship is alive and well. We will see you then.